Welcome students to the fifth unit. About we are going to study about the GIS today. Right? We have studied about the remote sensing. We have studied about the GPS. Now we are going to study about the Geographical Information System (GIS). So, without wasting time, we'll see first what we are going to study today. What is GIS? We are going to study first. We'll understand what is GIS. Next is the objectives of GIS. Right? Where you are going to apply or where you are going to use this GIS and comparison of GIS with CAD. Alright. So what is GIS? GIS is a system. Okay. It is science and art. Here also it becomes. So as we saw in the remote sensing, here also it is a science and art of obtaining, processing, analyzing, storing and retrieving the data. Retrieving means again getting back, right? Once you are stored it, again getting the back the data of geographical information. It is geographical information means about the land, water, right? About the peoples, all those things which are on the earth, right? So about the information, whatever the information you require about the people, animals, rain, right? Quantity of rains, all those whatever there is on the earth, in and on the atmosphere, in and on the earth, that is called as geographical information of an object, place, region, or earth using computers. So GIS means, or geographical information system means, art and science of obtaining, to get, art of obtaining the data, right? Processing the data, analyzing it, storing it, keeping with us. So storing the data and again getting back the data which is stored, right? That about that of data of what? Data of geographical information of an object, of a place, of a living thing or a region on the earth using computers, right? Using computer. That is called GIS. After getting the definition also, you might be having some doubts, some questions in your mind. How we can do this? Where? How can this is how it is used? So all these things will be cleared as we proceed further slides. Right? GIS is nothing but it is an information system which geographic. Right? Here there is a system where you are going to add the geographical details or data. So combined together it becomes GIS. So you have some data about the of some area or some region, about the roads of that area, right? You have done survey and you have got the details of that roads, buildings, right? Grown vegetables means vegetation means what? The green area around the that area. So if you want to study, right, you have all this data about the street roads, about that data, how much, what is the length, what type of road it is made up of, what is the width, right? Whether they are all made of bitumen or not, whether they are earthen roads, all those information is there, right? In the first case, right? In the second case, you have the data of the buildings, how many factories are there, how many large scale factories, how many small scale industries are there, right? How many bungalows are there, how many apartments, how many uh, small buildings are there. So all those information is also there with you. So you have vegetation data, how many trees are being grown, what type of trees are there. So all this data is there with you, right? So when you want to study only the roads, if we have this, if you see the last integrated data, if you see this integrated data, right? If you see this last one, right? If you see this last one, right? Here you have everything, right? So to study one data, I want to study the road data now, right? And you want to analyze it, want to process it. So it becomes very difficult to understand in all this juncture. So what we do, while we make the data, we make it in a different layers like this. Right? We make it in a different layers. So whenever we require any data of any of these buildings, suppose we want the data of buildings, so we'll remove this, take out this layer, and we'll study this, right? You can represent it, you can have a written based form, or you can have a maps, right? Mostly we have a maps of those, because it is geographical information, we can show it in a map, right? So what we do is, if you want the data of the buildings, how many industries have come up, how many houses are there, so for that we take the only one layer, because we need only one, right? We don't need other one. So what we do is, we take out that building layer, data layer, and we'll study it. If I want building and street data together, to know whether how many houses and how many industries are being provided with the roads for their effective transportation or communication, right? To study that, what I'll do, I will merge the road data and the building data together, right? As we have combined this together about the vegetables, about the buildings, vegetation, and the data, we got this whole one, right? Same way, whichever you want, you club that data and you find out the analysis. We will do the analysis, right? So this is how it is done. So collecting data is about all those things, right? Representing the data, it depends upon how you want to represent it, right? So this is how the GIS works. It is very simple way I am trying to tell you how it works. Data what you acquire, right? If suppose, I will give another example to you. There is an area like this, and there are number of houses here, right? These are the houses, right? So you want to know the population of this area. We want to know the population of this area, right? So what we'll do, you will carry out the survey of population. You will go to the each house, calculate the data, right? Now how you are going to represent it, how you are going to show it. So what you will do, you will prepare a map of it, and you will say, in this building there were 4 people, in this there were 5 people, and how many males were there, you will differentiate, how many females were there, you will differentiate in each house. So when you do this, if you want the data of only one house, a specific house, you can carry out, remove it out and see. If you want to see about 4 buildings, you can find out. If you want a whole region, you can do that. So this is how data is calculated and it is analyzed. Once it is processed, map is ready, and then you will study in which house what is happening, how many children are there, how many males are there, how many females are there, what is the ratio of male and female, right? What is the literacy rate? So all these things becomes very easy to understand, right? While representing those geographical conditions in the map, it becomes very easy to understand what are the things happening all over the world or the area. Maximum efficiency of planning and decision making. If suppose, as I said in the first example, that we club the layer of road and the building. So we know there are a lot of buildings have developed, but to those buildings, their development, there is no proper road facilities. How we come to know? When we club the roads, existing roads and the buildings, what are there now. So till where the roads are there, we'll come to know. right? If you see the previous slide I showed you, when you club the both together, you'll come to know whether the roads are provided to all the buildings or not, in front of all the buildings or not. So if it is not there, then the administrator or the administrative department will look after it to provide them access to the roads, right? So that they can communicate to the main cities easily. So that is how works progress, right? For the development works, for the administrative purpose to plan, make decisions, GIS becomes very important. Providing efficient means of data distribution and handling, right? It will help you to efficiently use data, right? You will easily understand about the data, so you will process it very easily. Elimination of the redundant data, that is minimizing the duplications. It cannot have two data for one object, right? That will be reduced. Capacity to integrate the information from many sources can be happen. If you get the various data from various places, we can club it together. We can make it, mix it and make a one of it, integrate it together, right? So that can be done. Complex analysis and query involving geographical reference data to generate new information can be done, right? Because there are a lot complication happens because the number of people and the variation or the in the their variation in the data helps becomes very complex, will lead to complex analysis, right? So for that, this GIS helps you to solve that complex problems. Now where you are going to use this GIS applications? Conservation and exploitation of natural resources. We can find out where are the natural resources, how much is there, how much the natural resources are available, whether it is depleting or whether it is in large quantity. Also that can be told, right? Extra information can also be told, can be in that GIS system. Development of land use plans. Now, how much land is there with us in the city? How much is been developed? How much is to be developed, and how much is to be brought into the consideration of developing, of planning. That can be done. How many is half developed, right? So all these things can be studied and planning can be done. Urban and regional planning can be done, because this geographical information can be drawn into maps. Monitoring the change in the land cover, how much forest area has been depleting, how much area has been taken for the industrial purpose, how much area has been used by residentials, how much area has been used by commercials. All this land cover happening day by day can be, if we get the data day by day, we can be analyze those data. Monitoring the environmental change, like such as soil erosions, right, pollutions, flood hazards. It is not that the whatever data which are collecting is through the manual purpose. Through satellites also, right, we can get those data and we can analyze through the GIS, right? We got the images of various regions of the forest. If we want to know what is the forest cover that was there in 2015, right, we have the data, but we don't have the data of 2020. So what we do, we get the data from the satellites. So once we get the data, we'll find the we compare those data, right, and we'll find out how much percent of green forestation or afforestation has happened, how many land is gone into has become a barren land, right, where the erosion has happened. So all those things by comparison the data of previous and now, we can come to the conclusion about to monitor the environment. Right? This can be done to anything, right? Planning and construction of roads, railways, dams, and tunnels. So how many dams are being constructed? How many dams are in current in progress? So those dams which are there, they are major dams or minor dams. Whether they are for hydroelectric power or for irrigation purposes, all those details can be feeded, and that would be help us to analyze or to come up with the plans for the construction, right? Natural disaster management, right? In natural disaster cases, where has the disaster happened, how much was the magnitude, all those things we can study. Why it was happened. Telecommunication services, we can apply GIS. In every field, every field, we will be using GIS nowadays, because we have to keep the data. To keep the data, we have to have the data, but we have to process the data, we have to analyze, we have to store it, right? We have to find out the solution from that data. So GIS becomes very important. Rural land management and agriculture land management can be done through GIS. Waste land reclamation projects, if there are any waste lands, how to use it, right? That can be done. River basins, watershed management, right? Imagine it is navigation and canal development. Consolidation of land holdings and land records. So if you have a city, right, and you want to have the data of landholders, right? This of if you consider a city A, there are around the land which is been divided and given to the public, right? So we want to know which person has how many lots of land, right? And right, we want to know that. So we can do that by naming it, right? We can give the data. Once the data is given, it can be converted into maps, and when you click on that area, we'll come to know the name of the landholder, right? And the size of that land. That can be also done. So all those things, with the help of the mapping systems, we can produce the data. And if you want extra data also, we can add to it. It is not that only maps will be shown. No, we'll be having a attribute tables. To the tables, we can feed n number of data to that map. Digitalization of maps on various scales, right? The maps you see on the mobiles, right? Those are due to the GPS, right? You can add roads to it, you can add rivers if you want. So that can be done through help of layers, right? As you use the layers in the CAD, right? Various layers you use, right? Same way, GIS also uses layers. The comparison between GIS and CAD. GIS organizes to few multiple sites, but with less details. GIS is related to data management, and its strength is relating the geographical features to database. We want to create a database to have data, previous data. So for that we use GIS. Right? GIS's capabilities to analyze the all types of data. Sorry for the spelling mistakes. It is all types of data. Complex analysis of multispatial means, spatial means which has space. Any object or anything which has space is called spatial data. The data of that space. And non-spatial data means numerical, right? Numerical data is integrated manner is possible, right? Adding numbers to that area, right? Mixing of numbers and the objects or the area can be done in this GIS. GIS can be raster based or vector based, or recently advanced hybrid GIS also available. So what is this? Raster and vector? It comes into the type of mapping. What type of mapping you want? It depends upon that. Okay. GIS maps are oftenly combines the multiple features sets and database together, as I showed in the second slide about the buildings, the roads, the vegetation. So these are the various multiple data features sets which are being combined, can be combined and can be used differently also. Now we will see how it is different from CAD. CAD allows the organizations to single drawing in great details. When you want to draw details of an area or of a building, that can be done of any drawing. Here there is less details as compared to the for a specific organization it is talked about. CAD drawings are typically single drawing file, right, and it is suitable for design drawing but not database information systems, right. It can draw a single drawing, not multiple drawings. CAD software do not have capabilities of handling special data. It is not possible to use special data, therefore obviously the complex analysis involving special and non-special data is neither possible, right. CAD software is compatible only with the vector data structure. The CAD software raster data structure cannot be used. The CAD is typically a single user, right, and it is not for a database management. This is the difference between CAD and GIS. Very important question, comparison between GIS and CAD, right? Very important. This might be asked, and this is asked lot number of times. So this is your important question, right? Remember this.